Okie dokie, week 4, part 2. So we're dealing with conic sections. Here's a cone for you, alright, conic sections. And today we're talking about circles. If you take a look at the base here, that is a circle. So first, we're supposed to do is, we have an equation here, and we're supposed to find some points. So x squared plus y squared equals 25. If I plug in 0, I end up with y squared equals 25. That's a square root there. So I'm plugging in 0, right? We're pretending we don't know what these are. I take x equals 0, I plug it in, I have y squared equals 25. I would then take the square root of both sides of this, and I'd end up with y equals, and because I'm taking the square root, plus or minus 5. Minus 5 times itself is 25, and plus 5 times itself is 25. So that's where I ended up with these two values, 5 and negative 5. Similarly, if we plug in negative 3, so you could try that, plug in negative 3, you're going to end up with plus or minus 4, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So, when we plot these points, we end up with all these points here in red. 5 comes 0, negative 5 comes 0, and so on. And these are the 3's and 4's. Alright, so x is 3, y is 4, x is 4, y is 3. Similarly over here, x is negative 4, y is positive 3. So on and so forth. And if we connect them with this blue line, you see that we end up with a, what's this shape called? Circle. Called circle, it has a center at 0, 0, the origin, and it has a radius of 5. So radius, distance from the center to the circle, maybe we should label that. Here is our center, and this distance here, radius. Okay, so you're seeing kind of the general form of the equation of a circle. We have an x squared and a y squared, and we have a radius squared. Notice how 5 times 5 is 25. That's the radius squared. Yep. So let's see if we can take that knowledge and graph x squared plus y squared equals 4. So x squared plus y squared. This is 2 squared, so it's going to be a circle with a center at 0, 0 and a radius of 2. And yeah, I didn't really have any points out here. You could calculate them, they'd be decimals or square roots or whatever. But going 2 in each direction and then connecting it with a nice little circle looks good to me. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. X squared plus y squared equals 100. So we know that the square root of 100 is 10. So there's going to be a circle with a radius of 10, center at 0. 0, 0, excuse me. And notice how I just, instead of 1 to 5, I said 2 to 10. So you could scribble that in. You might want to, and then you can add any level of detail you want. But in order to fit it on there, as we've been doing, we're changing the axes to out of 10 instead of out of 5. Okay, center, oh, here we go. This is a circle with a center at 0, 0, or the origin, and a radius of 10. Alright, basic circles. Moving on. Don't want to spoil the surprise. So, what if the center is not at the origin, or 0, 0? The plot thickens for sure. So here, I think you've seen this. When we're subtracting 2, so we're looking at this right here, when we're subtracting 2 from x, you think, well, what would I have to put in there in order for it to be 0, meaning kind of back. That's not a 0, that's a squared, meaning back at the, on the axis, and it's a 2. So it's like the center, or the origin, has been shifted. Notice how we put in a positive 2 to get it back to 0. So the origin has been shifted 2 to the right. So this, I'll just use red again, this information right here, the center has been shifted 2 to the right. And I know it's 2 to the right because it's along the x-axis. Over here, this is along the y-axis, meaning up and down. Do you see how we'd have to put in a negative 1 in order to make this 0, like back at the origin? So it has been shifted down by 1. So we'll say 1 down. So notice how it is always opposite. That's the truth. And the y corresponds to up or down, and the x corresponds to right or left. So we're basically we have a new center, and that is 2 comma negative 1. And then we have a radius, so this is r squared, so the radius is 5. So we have this information. The center of the circle is here, and the radius is here, or is this. So let's see if this graph looks good. 2 comma negative 1, so 1, 2, and then negative 1. So here's the center. And then I tried to count out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, 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 boom. Make points. Draw the nice circle. Looks good. If you would switch this to 10 and 10, that'd be just fine. Spoiler alert, there's the answer. So let's see, what does this tell us? Y minus 6, so that's going to be up by 6. The center is being moved up by 6. X plus 3, the center is being moved left by 3. So we have a new center, and that is negative 3 comma 6, which is, so I definitely switched these to 10s here. So I went 1, 2, 3, and then up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the new center. And our origin here, this is our radius, this is r squared. So the radius is 4. And so from the center, we went out 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Drew some points, and then I forgot that I was drawing the circle in blue. So here's the blue circle, like so. Okay. We're getting it. Now I think we get to work backwards. Oh, write the good. I don't have answers here. All right, write the equation of the circle. So we're going to figure out where the center is, what the radius is, and then see if we can write the equation. Looks like our center is at 3, comma 2. So I went right 3, up 2, and our radius is 1, 2, 3. We can just verify. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so because we went right 3, we're going to have x minus 3 quantity squared. So that was because the center has been moved to the right by 3. It has been moved up by 2, so we're going to have y minus 2 quantity squared. Notice how it's opposite, right? Up, minus, right, minus. And the radius, 3 squared. So 3 squared is 9. And I'm going to write this so you know where that came from. 3 squared. And what you probably want to write in here is up 2 and right 3. That's where the center was. Okay. And so you should probably put this on pause, see if you can do this by yourself. There's your little pause button. That's you. Okay, so pause. Now that you've unpaused, you've already come up with the equation of the circle. I bet you're correct. Let's see, we went left 3, down 1. So left 3, down 1, and equals the radius squared. Did you get that the radius is 5? Good, pat yourself on the back. Okay, so this looks beautiful. Thanks for listening. Are we done? Circles. All right, I guess we are.